He won't talk about the store until he or his bank vets sees financial banking statements. Well, that leads me to believe you spoke with him. Did you call him, or did she tell you that?
I called him. Correct.
Okay. All right, let's call Charles. You can mute your phone. Be prepared to take good notes. Write down everything he says. Here we go. Stand by. Charles, my name's Danny. I'm calling on a space for sale and or lease here in Charlotte.
3921.
Yeah, the laundromat.
Uh-huh.
So, Charles, I got your number from Carmen, the nice attendant gal out there. I hope you don't mind. I've been doing laundromats for about 15 years, and my partner and I are looking to build out some more stores. My intrigue, Charles, is in the infrastructure that's there, the gas, water, electric. I'd like to talk about a long-term lease, and then I essentially retool the stores. I put new equipment in the stores and operate. If you're interested in signing a long-term lease and having a tenant in place and getting that rent on time every time for 15 years, we could talk.
So I have to take all my equipment out of there?
No, of course not. I don't, unless you want it.
I mean, those are equipment. I just put it in, cost $80-something thousand, you know.
So you just put it in. You're telling me what's the age of the current equipment?
It's about, some of them 12, some of them 14, some of them about 9 years, something.
Okay, so the newest equipment you have in place is 9 years old, and that's what I saw when I scouted it. So it's time for a change.
Newest equipment we have is less than 6 months, the 3 big stainless steel dryers.
Okay, so you went ahead and replaced 3 of the dryers. Well, here's the bottom line is this, Charles. We could have a long relationship or a very brief conversation. Your question was, do I want you to take the equipment out? No, not necessarily. What I do, let's just talk about what I do. I'm looking for existing laundromats with infrastructure because God knows they're very expensive to build. If Charles is making money and you're doing well in that laundromat, keep it, run it, operate it. If it doesn't bother you to pay Carmen under the table or otherwise, if you're having a nice time running and operating the place, great. I own commercial properties, so I know that for several of my properties, I don't want to be bothered with maintenance. I certainly don't want to be bothered with operating the Dairy Queen. And if that's the case, if it's time to talk terms, we can do that. What I'm offering is simply a lease. But if you've spent money on equipment, I just scouted the store the other day, but I don't see a viable long-term option. It's time to replace the equipment. And I do the whole store, all of the equipment, spending close to, it depends on how big the store is. What's the exact square footage?
About 2,800, 2,900 square feet.
Okay. So it's a good footprint. It's almost 3,000 square feet, which is good for us. I don't know, Charles. I'm not calling to sell newspapers. This isn't a yes or a no conversation. If it's time for you to collect a rent check that's commensurate for a laundromat, look, if you're making $5,000 a month and you're clearing that and you don't have to work at it, keep the place. If you want to sell the building, you can sell it the way it is. I'm not buying. I want to be clear.
Yeah, I'm not selling the building. That's my investment. I'm not selling the building.
There you go. So I don't know. Perhaps it's time to start collecting a rent check, walk away from the laundromat, walk away from the perceived headache. I have enough stores that I'm going after more, not less. There's 2 types of laundromat owners, the ones that have one store and have no idea what they're doing, and the ones that have several and are going after more. I'm the latter. Something to think about, most certainly. Trying to sell it? Well, Charles, what if you do sell the business? Now you've got a tenant who A, owes you money, and B, owes you rent. You know how that turns out. I've seen it many, many times. No, this is the inception of the talk.
So how much do you think the 3,000 square foot laundromat bring me the rent? How much is the money going to bring?
Oh, here we go. I like your style. Charles, you have to tell me what you need to collect in rent. Doing the simple math, over a 15-year term, 80 cents a square foot is going to net you over $350,000.
No. I'm not talking about the year. I'm talking the monthly rate.
Yeah, right. Of course.
80 cents.
I'm doing simple math. What I'm saying is the commensurate and appropriate rent in that area for a laundromat is going to net you well over $350,000 in the next 15 years. That's the reality of it.
15 years. I'm not talking about the 15 years. I'm talking. Don't show me that big figure.
That's a true figure.
I'm 50 years old, 58 years old, and I'm a double graduate in mathematics. So.
Man. How old are you?
58 years old. So
58.
Don't put any calculation.
Well, you're a young man, Charles. I'm 48, so we're same generation. At 2,800 square feet, you have to tell me what would you have a figure in your head, and I need to know what that is. What would you like to collect in rent?
I don't have any idea. That's what I was wondering.
Well, it depends on what you're earning. I mean, if you're making a bunch of money, then keep the place. That only makes sense. Double graduate in mathematics, you get that.
Right, yeah.
If you're not crazy and I'm not crazy, I'll send you a letter of intent. I'll tell you precisely what I want to do, but you need to start the jumping off point. You need to tell me what's appropriate.
I have a guy who wants to start a CBD store in there, and he said, I will pay you $3,000 right now if you take your equipment out right now. I said, no, I'm not going to do that, I mean, if you pay me in 5 years in advance, I might think about it.
What kind of store?
It's a CBD store.
A pharmacy?
Yeah, CBD, yeah. The new stuff, they bring it in the market and stuff like that.
I hear your wife yell in the background. What'd she say?
Don't worry about it.
That's a different scenario. Well, look, I can't survive at $3,000 a month at a 2,800 square foot store. Why? My debt service. Charles, I have to pay for brand new equipment, and I retool my stores every 7 years. That's the difference. And I don't want to come to you hat in hand in 6 months or certainly 6 years begging for a rent reduction. And who's and buts and ifs and whats. You've got a CBD store that's willing to make offers. If he sends you a letter of intent, it's different. Let me get your email address. I'll send you an LOI so you know I'm not full of shit. And maybe we can talk. What's a good email address?
I mean, what are you going to send me?
A letter of intent outlining what I intend to do, how I intend to get it done, and how I operate. So you know that I'm not just a guy on the telephone.
Yeah, you can call me. I mean, you can tell me. I mean, I don't have to, I mean, if I'm the kind of guy,
So I would like to operate a successful laundromat in this space and provide you a rent check every month. I can't give you $3,000 a month for 2,800 square feet. So what's reality? And I don't want you to pull your equipment. Some of it might still be viable. If you owe money on it, I don't intend to pay that. You understand? I'm not buying this place. But if you want to sell the building, Charles, imagine trying to sell that building in 6 months when you've got a brand new, bright, shiny laundromat with all new equipment, 24-hour operation, internet-driven cameras, the way that we operate. We have access through our free Wi-Fi portal to every customer. We have a Facebook page with very strong followers. It's essentially the Walmart of laundromats. And as you know, they can't be run internationally. It's a cash business. So all boats rise with the tide. When you want to sell that place, when you want to sell that building, now you're offering a long-term lease with an outstanding client in place.
No, they are rezoning the whole area up front mall, and they said maybe the landlord gonna give me the best offer to destroy the building and make it there.
So it's currently a ground lease?
No. They are in the front of the other side, the big shopping mall.
All right, so you've got a lot of options open to you. I hear that.
Right.
I hear that.
Let's
do this.
They want to $500,000, I will take it right now and give it.
Of course.
Take it out of there and.
If I were you, I'd keep my options open. My option is extremely viable. Charles.
Mm-hmm. I understand, what you're coming from, and
sure.
And I'm just an old time thinker, say hold on to it and see if somebody come up with a good money, and then I'll just get out of from there. No problem.
This somebody that you're talking about doesn't currently exist. I do. That's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
You've got my number. Hold on to it. I'm Danny D'Angelo. No email address for you? Is that what I'm hearing? You don't have an email?
I have an email, but I barely check.
You don't look at it. Okay. Charles, you've got my number. If you want to talk terms and sign a long-term lease, I'm your guy. And start collecting a goddamn rent check. Where are you from, Charles? You have an accent. Where are you from?
What do you think? Just gas, wild gas.
Oh, God, I don't want to say. I'll hurt your feelings. I'm from New York, so everybody's from New York.
I can't say that. I know your accent, but you know my accent. You pretty much idea.
Where you come from?
What do you think? I want to give you a wild shot for,
Israel.
Just a little bit further.
Well, further away. Man, you're a pain in the ass. You won't tell me anything. Where are you from?
I'm from Asia, India, amigo.
Oh, okay. India, amigo. I love it. You don't really have an Indian accent.
I know. I've been long enough here, man.
Charles, God bless. Look, if the time comes, you give me a holler.
Sure.
And, another thing to think about, we are in the area. We're going to be opening stores, and I don't really want to crush your store. I'd rather help you.
No problem, man.
All right, Charles.
Cheers. God bless
Thanks for
you.
taking the time. God bless.
No problem, man. Bye.
He didn't ask me for bank information.